Hello everyone, and thank you for attending this lightning talk that I will have in this RightsCon conference for 2022 in a digital format about the danger of neglecting non-lucrative languages. I really hope that you are going to find it interesting and it's going to raise some questions inside you. So imagine that you are coming from a place where you speak a given language, and you have a friend who tells you that there is a very nice app called Facebook. Then you open this app, you download it or you use your computer, and then you see that it's only available in major languages. So your first maybe intuition would be to say, okay, how can we have this platform in our language? Unfortunately, it's not that easy because the decision is not up to you. The decision is up to that company creating that application to decide if they want to implement it in the language you're asking for or not. And usually these decisions are taken by companies, as I mentioned, so they are business driven, or in other terms, they are around money. So if implementing a platform in a specific language is going to bring more value or money for a company, then they will do it. If it's not bringing financial value for that company, then they will not do it. It's as simple as that. Of course, many people coming to this conference will think that this is wrong. This is against a basic human right, which is right to accessing the information. But unfortunately, this is how it is. If we want to contextualize this and to give some examples, we can see some specific languages in the world and how they look like in terms of presence in the different online platforms. So since I live in Sweden, I took a very simple example, which is the Swedish language. That is a very small language in terms of population. It's spoken by 10 million people, but you'll find it available across almost all platforms. So if you open Netflix, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, all these platforms are supporting the Swedish language in a very good way. Then if I take, for example, Berber, which is a language or a family of languages that are spoken by at least 20 million people in North Africa, you'll almost find nothing. So as you see here, this is not related to the number of speakers, but it's mostly related to how the companies view the people who speak the language as an added value to them. And we can keep on giving examples. So the example of Swedish and Berber were just a random example from me, since I'm familiar with that situation. But I'm pretty sure that any one of you who are listening have own examples from their own context where they can see a huge language spoken in Africa, such as Yoruba or such as Hausa, or languages spoken in Asia, or languages spoken in South America that are spoken by consequent population, but that these population, because they are not considered as bringing as much as value as other languages, then their languages are just neglected. Personally, I think that this is completely wrong, and the reason is not only because it's human right, but it's also because you can bring in value. You know, when you have a platform in many languages, then it becomes more popular, and although you might invest in the beginning in it, and you might not get your return on investment as fast or as quick as you wish, you will still be able to receive a lot of value in the future when it becomes popular among that community or among that language speakers. Then you will start to receive return on investment. A good example of this is a platform I'm very familiar with, which is Wikipedia. So Wikipedia, which is one of the Wikimedia projects that are open source projects and that are available for everyone to edit and to enrich, are operating at a completely opposite way of the way we talked about companies before. So to have Wikipedia in one language, you just have to prove that you have a good community that is available to create the Wikipedia in that language, and that shows, for example, within 6 months or within 1 year that they did enough effort to sustain the Wikipedia they created in a sort of incubator. So once they prove that, they're allocated URL and they're allocated the whole space to host their Wikipedia in their language. And thanks to that, Wikipedia is now a platform that is available in more than 300 languages. I think 314 was the last number we're talking about. And the platform is so enormously popular, and it keeps on growing, and it goes into really a lot of different numbers of communities and underrepresented languages everywhere in the world. So given that there are almost 7,000 languages in the world, 314 is almost nothing. But just imagine that when I'm talking about Wikipedia, I'm talking about a successful model. So when we talk about other platforms that are supported only in 20 languages, then you see my point, and you see why keep focusing only on something lucrative is not really useful and representative for the whole world in all its diversity. Even if you concentrate on the bigger languages, it doesn't mean that everyone in the world will speak these languages. So personally, I believe that platforms such as Wikipedia or Wikimedia projects in general are really fair, because they represent the language the same way it is in the world, and you just need a community that is actually available and willing to drive the platform to do so. So of course, private companies and private corporations have their own interests, and we cannot expect them to be as democratic as an open community like the Wikipedia. But I'm pretty sure that these companies can find a good way to compromise and to balance their stakes with also some basic human rights, which are the access to information, because at the end, as we said, people will benefit and these companies also will benefit, which means that in final the whole world will benefit from having these platforms available in many languages. We had some challenges in the past. I remember when I was young, there was no Arabic keyboard, so we were writing in Latin characters, we were writing Arabic in Latin characters, which was pretty weird. But now technology has advanced so much. We have all sorts of keyboards, we have even the AI, we don't even need to write, we can just speak, and then there is this speech recognition system that will write your language. So many processes are also automatic. It means that to implement a platform in a new language should not be a matter of years. It's not a huge project requiring billions of dollars. It will become easier and easier. There are many translating tools also helping on that. So just give the opportunity for people to do so, and you'll be amazed. Maybe in the future we'll have these platforms also available in 300 languages or even more. Just give them their chance.